feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride no wave.
Oh, we didn't do a Lil Durk topic yesterday, right? Okay. So chat, it's going down. The trial for Durk is upcoming. I believe it's, let me see, when does the trial start? When does Lil Durk trial starts? The trial is going to start later this month on August 20th. Okay, so 14 days, 2 weeks exactly until the start of the trial. Lil Durk is facing murder for hire charges along with some other enhanced charges of conspiracy. What's happened recently is that they're firing off a bunch of motions in court, and these motions are really important because they're called motions in limine, and they're important because it kind of sets the rules of what cannot be mentioned or brought into court by the prosecutor or by, witnesses to a certain extent. So they've been firing off motions. They want to make sure that it's not all lyrics that could be used. It's going to be a very narrow amount, and, it has to have some type of relevance or whatever the case is. And they are issuing a fourth superseding indictment. Why? To kind of separate the charge of the murder and also the stalking. So count 3 is going to have the stalking of TB, which is Taekwon Bowman, which is Quando Rondo, using a dangerous weapon in violation of 18 U.S.C. And count 4 is the stalking of SR. So they previously put both of them together. And they separated the stalking charges, and that's what the fourth indictment is. Since the fourth indictment hasn't brought in anything new, remember the third indictment did, and 2 of the counts got X'd out because they brought in another murder, and the judge was like, hey, you got to try this separately. You can't just go ahead and just add another murder in a month before trial. It's not going to work like that. Regardless, the government, so the prosecutors, they are pushing for a motion for a limited gag order prohibiting prejudicial extrajudicial statements. So they don't want any more press conferences or interview. So the plaintiff, the United States of America, by through its counsel of record, the assistant U.S. attorneys, Ivan Y. Yanello, and these other people, right? So these are the assistant U.S. attorney. They filed this motion to have a limited gag order prohibiting these statements. The motion is based on the attached memorandum of the points and authorities with that. Okay. Now, let's look. It says, despite the imminent trial date, the counsel and surrogate for the defendant banks continue to engage in a public press operation that creates significant risk to the jury pool and fair administration of justice. Yes, Brian Steele and also Drew Finland, they have been routinely, as they walk out of court, updating the press. So Drew Finland, press conference, I'll put press conference, Durk, but they've been having, just standing outside of court and talking about it. And they want to stop this because, obviously there's going to be fans that's going to be there. And, they're worried about the jurors getting in and out, and people might figure out who the jurors are to fuck with them.
Filings and briefings done. And
you got, Mr. Brian Steele in the back. Anyway, as a result, the government respectfully requests the court impose a narrow gag order to prohibit further unnecessary extrajudicial statements about the case. A defendant is entitled to zealous advocacy, including counsel's forceful argument on the briefs and in the courtroom, but the right to a fair trial. Well, we got WAC 100 calling. Back to what we were talking about with Durk. So Durk, the government wants a motion to put in a gag order. No more talking outside the courtroom. No more interviews. No more things to try to prejudice the trial or taint the jury pool, or no more, constant statements around the courthouse that could potentially influence potential jurors. Anyway, it says the defendant is entitled to zealous advocacy, including counsel's forceful arguments on the briefs and in the courtroom. But the right to a fair trial does not include litigation through prejudicial and extrajudicial statements on the eve of and during trial. As this court previously recognized in separate case, the flurry of publicity on the eve of the trial threatens to create a circus-like environment that would deprive the parties of their right to a fair trial. Until now, the government has declined to seek judicial intervention. Despite the defense's repeated inflammatory public comments, the government twice inquired whether the defense counsel would agree to a limited order prohibiting the parties from making extrajudicial statements that could prejudice the jury. Defense counsel declined, and the government respectfully submits that the court should now intervene and ensure a fair trial. Okay, they continue to say trials have a affirmative constitutional duty to minimize the effects of prejudicial pretrial publicity, and it says a limited gag order is necessary to ensure a fair trial. From the inception of this case, defendant Banks has attempted to use his influence and media access to influence public opinion about the strength of the case and at times to malign the government. For example, the defendant used a social media account with nearly 50 million followers to publicize his first motion to dismiss the first superseding indictment. By the way, they're saying that this message here by Durk, which was an update, check this out.
Call from
Who you depend on?
Oh, no, this was a song.
Yeah, I just want to give y'all just an update on my mind state. You know, I just been reading, getting into these books, just working on my patience. I've been reading Pawns in the Game by William Gackar, Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton, Elaine Brown, just all the revolutionaries, you know, who've been through something and stand for something that a lot of people don't know of or forgot about. You know, and it's just been sitting on my heart lately to just save the generation, bro. Save these kids. You know, they don't deserve it. I'm just tired of being a pawn for the culture. You know, entertaining and being ignorant. You know what I'm saying? I want to change the world around to being positive. I want to start with saying, like, when it comes to support, you know, I'd be cool because, you know, when Jay-Z went through his situation, you know, he the people's champ. They turned their back on him. Even Drake and Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be the first one to just do it, you know what I'm saying? And not saying the first one to do it, but, you know, for these kids, you know, we got to be their heroes. You know what I'm saying? They got to look up to us in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people ain't going to like it. You know, if you can't make money off of it, they ain't going to like it. So I'm going to be the first one to do it. The revolutionary. Yeah, I just want to give y'all just an update on.
And he did another one. This indictment is a lipstick on a pig. For nearly 2 years now, the federal prosecutors have desperately tried to fend off challenges to a very weak case. Now, just 2 months before a trial, that Durk Banks has demanded at every turn, they pull this pathetic pivot, recycling old accusations. Okay, so he had shared it with Drew Finland, so this was a joint post if you don't know. It's a joint post, but nevertheless, he also said whatever in his caption, even though it says statement from his attorney. So they're saying that he's using the 50 million fans to try to sway the case, okay? Or sway the perception of the case.
What's up, bro?
You know, our energy, you know, our relationship, where we came from, where we did, you know, your family. So I appreciate you for everything, too, bro, because he was telling me what you was doing. I told him, I said, man, he do this every year, man. It's regular for us, man, the heroes.
Yeah, for sure. This trade, I wanted to make it something special, you know, so we could show the rest of the world, like, shit, you know, outside the music, you know, it's big on us to take care of our community, take care of the youngest, and, you know, try and guide them the real way.
That's why it's touching for me, man. That you want to do it with us is like, it's big for me, bro. For the kids to see that we doing it together, that's all that matters.
The man up above is real, you know. We ain't even gonna let the enemy distract us, man. You know, because at the end of the day, it's all on his time. And so while we here, you know, we just gotta play our part. The dope thing is, I'm excited because, bro, we finna give at least 400 kids brand new tablets, you know, computer tablets, on top of other stuff, you know, on behalf of myself and OTF. You know, we're gonna get out here and bless them.
I just want y'all to know I'm with y'all 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like my situation, you know, I'm always gonna be the hero. You know, always open and genuinely for y'all. You know, for y'all, being guidance for y'all. You know, and let the world improve.
Okay. All right. So it says it was falsely claimed that the government was using this murder case to criminalize black artists for their creativity while the motion was pending. Defense counsel appeared on popular podcasts with hundreds of thousands of views, providing commentary about the merit of this case. They put three of them. Let me see. Number 3. Oh, shit. They fucking put my name. Yo, don't try to whack 100 me, nigga. Don't put my name in no fucking indictment, nigga. Put my name, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell? No. Why they put my name in they linked to Vlad? Oh, no. Oh, it's below. Okay. They put me and Vlad. Fuck. Okay. All right. Anyway. Popular podcast with 100,000 views, providing commentary about the merits of the case. Then, following the filing of the third superseding indictment, the counsel issued a press release using Defense Bank's social media. We just read that criticized the new charges, calling the allegations false and lipstick on a pig, and contained other rhetoric suggesting the government was scrambling and pathetic. Counsel then gave the interview where he criticized the government and boasted that the defense have been defeating the government on so many legal issues, and claimed the community, including law enforcement officers, opposed the charges against defendant Banks, walking up to counsel saying, "Free Durk." Which is this? Let's go to 5. 5 right here. Oh.
I have people coming to me off the streets going, "Free Durk, free Durk," literally. I have law enforcement officers walking up to me and saying, "Free Durk." Okay. Yeah, so it's been really an amazing experience. I'm glad I've done it. Durk comes from Chicago. He's self-made. He was a Grammy Award winner. He was deeply involved in community service right here in your city. Okay, he had local politicians supporting him. He had people in the community supporting him, and they brought this case against him. And we have been defeating them on so many legal issues.
What is the likelihood that this turns out in Durk's favor?
Everybody that I've fought for years and years and years, everybody that knows I'm 24/7, man, you call me 3 in the morning, I'm at the police station. So that's not me, because I'm in it to win it, and we're going to win it. I have people coming to me off the streets going.
Drew Finland, the $1 billion attorney. He's definitely, very confident. Okay. On June 26th, in light of these and other publicly disseminated statements, the government proposed a joint gag order, to which the defendants disagreed. Following the July 14th hearing before this court, defense counsel conducted an impromptu press conference on the steps of the courthouse, and last week the parties met and conferred about this and other motions the parties intended to file. The defendant Banks' counsel indicated that the defendant opposes the requested relief. For these reasons set forth below, including that trial is in a matter of weeks, the government respectfully requests that the court enter into an order prohibiting further press conferences, releases, and other media operations that could improperly influence the jury. While evaluating whatever, okay. All right, so they're citing some cases and yeah. Okay. All right. I'm trying to get where's my guy? What's the dirt? He dropped a banger of a video, but I don't know if it's out yet. Hold on. Banger of a video. It is out. Okay. No, it's not out yet, actually. Anyway,